The story comes from KJW.
Tom.
Am I not supposed to laugh?
Tom.
I'm not supposed to laugh.
You're not supposed to laugh, Tom.
Cecil, I'm sorry. I sometimes forget that I'm not supposed to laugh when Schadenfreude happens. 2 Portland men, aged 59 and 37, were found dead in Washington's Gifford-Pinchot, I probably said that wrong, National Forest after a 3-day search. They had embarked on a Christmas Eve expedition to find Sasquatch, but failed to return, prompting a family member to report them missing on Christmas Day. The Squamish County Sheriff's Office attributed their deaths to exposure, citing harsh weather conditions and inadequate preparation. The search operations involved over 60 volunteers, including canine, drone, and ground teams, as well as assistance from the U.S. Coast Guard. Cecil, I do want to point out, they sent 60 fucking people, dogs, drones, ground teams, the Coast Guard. They found 2 fucking dead bodies, but no fucking Sasquatches.
It's been awesome. Wouldn't it have been great, though, if they come across one of the guys and he's cut open and there was a Sasquatch inside trying to stay warm?
It would have been, like, I would have been impressed if they didn't find the guys, but they found Sasquatch.
If they like fly out and the Sasquatch is like, I never met the guys. Yeah, right. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know him.
He's wearing one of the guys like a hat.
Talk to my Sasquatch lawyer.
He's wearing one of the guys like a coat. He's got him draped over like a cowl, and he's just like, Jim, yeah, I've never seen a Jim before. It's
like a sash with his face on it right over his shoulder. Amazing. Yeah.
Dude, they went Sasquatch hunting. Man. Aren't the people who go Sasquatch hunting, I would think that these people would have a heavy fucking Venn diagram overlap with the prepper people. So when I read this and it's like a lack of preparation, I'm some schmuck who lives in the suburbs in Plainfield, but I know that if it's December and I'm going to walk around in the woods for 3 days, my ass is not unprepared, right? Yeah. Like I've got a fucking sat phone. I got it all. I'm making sure that I don't die of exposure because, like, respect, man, that's the woods. It's December in the woods in Washington.
Well, maybe
respect.
Maybe a Sasquatch stole all their gear.
There's a Sasquatch calling his girlfriend on a sat phone right now.
He gave them both a wedgie and just walked away with their tent. He's like, fuck you. He dumps their food on the ground like they're books and he just walks away.
It would be so impressive if, like, they finally, like, they get these guys back and they bury them and they have all their sad fucking, oh, boo-hoo, they went out for a Sasquatch walk and now they're dead. Who cares? Did the world get worse or better, Cecil? Did the world get worse? Somebody died on a Sasquatch that.
I need my Sasquatch lawyer before I answer that.
Bigfoot, big deal. You know?
One thing that makes me upset about this is, like, they had to get 60 fucking people together to go find these people. So these people go out and do an asinine thing, like try to find a Sasquatch with a windbreaker on overnight. They wind up dying from exposure. But we've got, like, there's dedicated people that have to go out into the wilderness, risk their own lives in some cases, walking through dangerous places in inclement weather to try to find the bodies of people who, like, didn't care enough to take care of themselves. Like, I'm actually a little upset that, like, that could also injure someone else. Like, your negligence and idiocy can hurt someone else.
Okay. So here's something that I've thought about with respect to this stuff before. So, like, I am at my work, I'm like a big boss and I've got managers that work for me, right? And sometimes, like, newer managers that I'll be mentoring, they'll be like, they'll be so frustrated that the people underneath them have done something stupid. And I say to them all the time, I'm like, you should be glad they did a stupid thing. If you wake up in the morning and there's no problems, we don't need you. Like, your job is to solve problems. So, like, you should be glad that people are waking up and fucking shit up. It gives you a reason to exist and and have a job and get a salary and get a paycheck. So every problem you solve, that's not a headache for you. That's a reason for you to pull a paycheck. So you should be glad when these things happen. Reframes it. I wonder sometimes with search and rescue guys, if it's this, because, like, it's not like you, like, don't want that job. If you're a search and rescue job,
Yeah,
you don't want to be like the Maytag repair guy where nobody
That's
goes
true.
off
That's
Sasquatch
true.
hunting and you never get to rescue anybody and you
Isn't
did
there
all
a
this cool
difference?
training.
Isn't there a difference though between somebody who like legitimately just like was out on a boat and their shit fucking broke and then they're stuck in like a terrible storm and you got to go rescue them versus somebody who's like, I think there's a sea monster, so I'm going to wade into the water?
Yeah, but dude, I would bet, I don't know this. This is me making shit up. I'd bet like a good percentage, 25 or 30%. Like, I'm not saying they're all hunting sea monsters, but like they're doing something stupid, right?
Probably
you often
right.
need to be rescued because you're like, you fucking tied one on, or, you know, or like, you know what I mean? Like, you've like very rarely does somebody make all the right choices and need to be rescued. I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
it's usually like, so if I'm a search and rescue guy, I'm like, yeah, man, go hunt Sasquatches, dumbass. Like, I need to do something.
Yeah,
I have
job
a high strike.
Job security, baby. You know, one thing I do want to blame this on though too is these fucking goddamn TV fucking shows.
Oh yeah.
Where they're like fucking Sasquatch hunters and fucking the Squatch or whatever on channel on the U. You gotta watch the Squatch this weekend. But like, man, these fucking shows are basically putting out this information that makes it seem like there's a realism to these things.
Right.
Like this isn't just bullshit. There's people in this country that cannot fucking discern between watching that show and not realizing that it's all tongue in cheek, right?
Yeah.
They don't think, they're like, nope, that dude went out in the whole forest and he heard a crazy sound. Hey, Bill, you want to go out here? Crazy sounds out in the forest? No, you get these. I feel like these people are partially responsible for this shit.
They are,
like,
man.
You know, like, man, you guys are stoking this fire, and you don't realize there's a group of people out there who can't discern this anymore.
Yeah. Well, I also like something you just said, like, just as a quick aside, makes me laugh. Like, you ever go out in the woods and you hear like a really weird sound in the woods?
Yeah, it's a coyote.
Do you know why it's a really weird sound?
Because you're never.
Because you don't know all the wood sounds.
Because you're never in the woods.
Because you're not a fucking woods expert. It's not a weird sound to the guy who spends all of his time in the woods. He just hears that sound. He's like, that's a fox. And like every scary sound is a fox. That's what I've decided.
Yeah.
Everything that you've ever heard that's been scary, that's a fox. Maybe a coyote, probably a fox. But like these guys go out and they're like, well, I didn't know what that sound was. And you're like, that's because you don't know lots of stuff. The real, like you not knowing doesn't make it unknowable. That's just like,
that's
you
the
don't
argument
have
from ignorance, stupid.
Right. It'd be like if I opened my car hood and I'm like, well, it's all magic inside because I don't know how it works. Like,
how it works.
I just don't know how this works. This is like it's an engine. The end, as far as I'm concerned. Like, I know where the washer fluid goes. Like, and then the other thing, I know where to take it, which is not my house to be fixed.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, these guys are out in the woods just like, I heard a weird sound. And like, it's like, that's not a weird sound. That's a wood sound, dumbass.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for this week. We're going to have a funny show for you on Thursday of this week. So check that out. Should be pretty good. Should be fun. We want to, of course, thank you guys for all your messages that you sent us. We got a ton of messages from people who just
it was very
outpouring of support. And then a bunch of people who were just like, hey, man, don't worry, you missed a week. But, you know, like Tom and I, we've been doing this for a long time. And it felt kind of weird to be off. And I'm glad we got a chance to see each other and talk to each other tonight, Tom. I think like, you know, we hadn't spoken in a long time. We had texted a lot while you were gone, but we hadn't spoken for a long time. So it's great to hear your voice. Great to see your face.
It's really good.
Glad
to be
we're able
back,
to do
man.
this today.
Thank you.
All right. That's going to wrap it up for this week. We're going to leave you like we always do with the Skeptic's Creed.
Credulity is not a virtue. It's fortune cookie cutter, mommy issue, hypno-Babylon bullshit. Couched in scientician, double bubble, toil and trouble, pseudo quasi alternative, acupunctuating, pressurized, stereogram, pyramidal, free energy healing, watered downward spiral, brain deadpan sales pitch, late night info docutainment. Leo, Pisces, cancer cures, detox, reflex, foot massage, death and towers, tarot cards, psychic healing, crystal balls, Bigfoot, Yeti, aliens, churches, mosques and synagogues, temples, dragons, giant worms, Atlantis, dolphins, truthers, birthers, witches, wizards.
I'm gonna flick you
nuts
with my balls.
Shaman healers, evangelists, conspiracy, doublespeak, stigmata, nonsense. Expose your sides. thrust your hands, bloody, evidential, conclusive. Doubt even this.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/dissonancepod. Help us spread the word by sharing our content. Find us on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Threads, all under the handle @dissonancepod. This show is CAN credentialed, which means you can report instances of harassment, abuse, or other harm on their hotline at 617-249-4255 or on their website at creatoraccountabilitynetwork.org.